Well, of course, here on the West Coast, we've been dealing with some very nice weather over the last couple of days. Sure, we got through about a week of rain, but things have finally calmed down a little bit out there. So let's take a look at the weather pattern over the next couple of days, and we'll talk about what you can expect. You may be traveling this weekend, and the good news is it's not looking too bad. We are watching this upper level low sitting offshore. It is going to pump up some more moisture in the coming days. We've seen that in the form of some high clouds tonight, and we'll continue to see that throughout the day tomorrow, and probably into Saturday as well. Now, one or two models are showing some very, very light precipitation in our neck of the woods, but I don't think it will be impactful at all. So if we get anything in the next couple of days, it might just be a sprinkle or two out of these high clouds. That's about it. Not expecting any major issues, really not anywhere across the state. It's looking pretty calm across the region. Now, this low is going to stick with us here through the weekend, but the ridge building kind of to the north of it will slowly warm our temperatures up and ultimately kind of win out. So while we will still have a weak low kind of hanging out over us, ultimately the overall air mass is going to keep warming up into next week, and temperatures look pretty warm and conditions look to stay dry. I would say 99% dry at least for us here over the next couple of days. Now, doesn't mean there aren't some travel hazards. The big one, I think, tomorrow, if you're going to be driving around, maybe heading to the Central Valley tomorrow, will be some fog. The Thule fog is in full effect right now. What is the Thule fog, Dan? You may be asking yourselves at home and on your nice comfy couch with your belly full of turkey or, you know, whatever. Green bean casserole. That's not what Thule fog is, but it's delicious for the most part. Anyway, let's talk about the Thule fog. So there is a dense fog advisory in effect to noon tomorrow for the San Joaquin Valley. So this is not local, but on the other side of the hill. So if you're heading over Pacheco Pass tomorrow to go to Fresno tomorrow morning, maybe Bakersfield, maybe just want to go hit up the Foster's Freeze in Los Banos. Why not? I mean, why not? Head over there tomorrow. I don't even know if it's open. It might not be. You know, you might be dealing with some fog. Now, areas I think most likely to see fog tomorrow, the 99 corridor always gets pretty nasty when it's Thule fog, and also perhaps the I-5 down south into Kern County. Those areas get a little bit thicker. Again, the Thule fog, I didn't ever explain that, is basically moisture and sometimes air pollution that gets trapped in the Central Valley. Keep in mind there's a big bowl of mountains here. So you got mountains of Sierra Nevada, the transverse ranges, the interior coastal ranges. It makes this big bowl and you get this light northerly flow. So it just kind of keeps pushing everything toward the bottom of the valley, but it can't get out. So all this moisture and pollution kind of collects and it gets pretty thick out there at times. Anyway, there's a long explanation about something that's not even local, but you may be driving through tomorrow, so keep that in mind. The other alert is some frost advisories that include the North Bay, East Bay, some of the interior Monterey Bay region, including San Benito County and portions of Monterey County. That's for tomorrow and Saturday mornings. Now, tomorrow morning, because of the clouds, we might not have too much of an issue with the frost, but it's still going to be, the air mass is cold enough, so if we do clear out long enough, there's still potential for some frost, so I want you to plan ahead for that. Either way, do expect those high clouds to kind of continue overnight tonight into tomorrow morning if you're standing in line trying to get that brand new VCR, maybe a double VCR, you know, where one tape records onto the other tape. I hear those are brand new. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, something like that, maybe. But maybe that's what you're into. Want to do some tape to tape? Why not? If you're standing in line for that tomorrow, there might be some clouds, but otherwise no major issues. Rest of the day tomorrow, just looking kind of between partly to mostly cloudy, kind of thin high clouds. You might see a halo around the sun at times with some high atmospheric ice particles making things kind of funky up there. Anyway, that's kind of what your Friday looks like across the Central Coast. Now, the model is showing some green blobs coming up northward tomorrow evening. So that's possible that there might be a few radar echoes. If you open up your KON Weather Authority app on your phone, this is a weather clicker, not a phone, but it's the same shape. So if you're looking at it and it's like, oh, I see radar echoes, does that mean it's going to rain? Well, probably not. You might get a couple sprinkles. That's about it. I mentioned maybe a couple sprinkles. Otherwise, dry forecast tomorrow and really through the weekend. Quick look at your temperature forecast tomorrow. Down into the upper 30s, low 40s. Santa Cruz Mountain Valley's highs in the mid 60s tomorrow. Mid 40s for a low in Santa Cruz, back into the mid to upper 60s. Actually, temperature is looking pretty mild tomorrow. We're going to warm up a few degrees from today's highs. Mid 60s, Salinas to Watsonville to Hollister to Gilroy, back to the Bayshore, same thing. Lows in the 40s for the most part, maybe into the upper 30s if we get some clearing. On over to the Monterey Peninsula, lows in the 40s, highs in the 60s tomorrow, and then down southward. certainly some cool spots to start off our day, 30s, but you're back in the 60s tomorrow afternoon. Let's take a quick look at that 7-day forecast because I'm probably out of time already. So we look at our coastal forecast for the next several days. Temperatures staying above normal, even with the clouds hanging around. So some pretty mild weather here for the next week or so. Right now, I'm not expecting any rain. It wouldn't be impossible to get a couple sprinkles late tomorrow night into Saturday, but I don't think that's going to be a big issue for us. And it's even less likely next week. And looking at inland areas, look at that, 70s. I mean, hey, we did well with the rain. We didn't have any floods. We had some beneficial rainfall. And now we can enjoy about a week of dry weather, before the weather changes again. We'll keep an eye on things for you, so make sure to stay tuned to the forecast. Back to you.